Now, it's the time for this week's edition of Ask Phillip, Phillip being me, of course. Now, we narrowed it down to 3 questions. And question number 1, Vincent Michaels on Twitter asks, how important is social media recognition when it comes to finding investors? Do you think there's more incentives to invest in someone that's more well-known to the general public? It's kind of like a semi-loaded question. If I have to, if you put me on the spot and I have to answer directly, I would say yes. Because if you're out there, it makes people feel comfortable that they know you. If somebody is just hiding behind the curtains and you won't find anything of them, there's that absence of human connection, and it makes people weary. Like, where do you get the trust from? You get that from human connection. In spite of all the technology we have, we only give that in that way. So yes, I would say that's very, very helpful. One thing that helped for us is, number one, when we offered access to our company, our portfolio, number one, we had by far the most money at stake. So we weren't really raising money for an idea. That added the credibility. Also, I put out stuff every day. I'm on Front Street, and I will be completely honest about what I know and I don't know. It just creates that transparency and that trust. So it's probably those points more so than what you asked directly. But overall, yes, the more people can get to know you, you're probably in a better spot for people to want to speak to you. So that's what that would be for me. Our next question, of course, comes from Alvations on Twitter. What's the plan for Nice Real Estate in 2021? Now, Nice is my company that has real estate. We had offerings, became the fastest company to sell $1 million in real estate shares. Have to throw that in there. Now, what's the plan for us? Okay, we got a few things. We just finished. We're getting ready to lease out our first smart tech powered student housing development by Temple University in Philadelphia. We're doing some really cool things with that. We're turning that into a hacker house of sorts where founders can live in there and have almost the accelerator experience, get the tools, the environment, the access to mentorship to help their business succeed, on top of just the shelter that comes with living in luxury real estate. So that's one of the things. We're doing phase 2. We're building an entire area down there. That's cool. We're doing quite a few projects in Philadelphia, New York City, Texas, Virginia Beach that we're going to be putting out for people. And the way things have been going this year, I'm sure there's something that I'm missing that I won't even know exists right now, but I'm surely there's a lot to come. But I share everything on my IG every day, on Instagram, Facebook. So if you just follow that somewhat, you'll be the first to know, I assure you. Now, our last question is from Sabrina Harley on Instagram. She poses a question that says as follows: should I start a business during a pandemic? All right. It's one of those things. There's never a perfect time to do anything. You can always find a reason why you shouldn't do something. Conversely, you can always find the right reason why you should do something, right? If you really want to do that. Again, we were considered crazy because we offered investments at a time when people were losing work and didn't really have any money. But what we came to learn is that we offered a message of hope, excitement, and people like that more than feeling miserable, believe it or not. So that is just one way. If you have a business where you feel as though there's a need, again, Netflix, record year, Amazon, record year. Now, why is that? It's because they have business models that are engineered to actually grow when there's a situation like this. So you just simply have to figure out, okay, this is the marketplace that exists right now. These are the conditions that exist right now. How do I create something that fits into that? You can't create a 2019 business in 2020. Not wise, not intelligent, won't happen. But of course you can start a business. You can start a business anytime you want to. Just make sure you're ready, you know your customer, you know your market, and you're ready to do the grind for 12 to 24, 36 months, not expecting anything until it finally pops off. That's the recipe, and it's really that simple. Now, if you want to hear your question live, make sure to follow us on social media at Bold TV. Ask us a question on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Parler at, of course, Bold TV, and we will feature you on next week's show.